He is quite literally the man of the moment, because the big news coming out of Auto Expo 2018, undoubtedly the launch and debut of Kia as a brand here in India for the first time. Mr. Han Woo Park is the President and CEO of Kia Motors, is here for this momentous occasion, and of course we are grabbing some time with him straight away. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Welcome to India.
Yeah.
For you and of course your team and the Kia brand.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for a while to have Kia come in, and it's a really big day, because not only have you announced your India entry, but you've done it in style with an India-specific concept.
Yeah.
That was always important for you. Would you give us a sense of what the India strategy was looking like?
I would say that the India entry strategy will provide some customized for India market with a good quality car. That is the first Indian entry. In terms of products, we'll tackle first. We'll tackle to compact SUV segment first. Why? That segment is a faster growing segment, so we'll focus on that first in the compact SUV segment. In terms of marketing, we'll make some differentiated, stylish car with differentiate with some other automakers with stylish, and our focus will be some young and vibrant Indian customers.
In fact, in all your global markets,
yeah,
your cars have a reputation of having fantastic interiors.
Yeah.
And it's become like a hallmark of your cars. So in India as well, because the market is quite saturated,
yeah,
there's a lot of talk about how it's a very late entry. But I know in the morning today you said in Hindi, "Der aaye durust aaye," because of course better late than never. What is going to be the approach to the market? Are you going to look at, this is a high volume space like you said,
yeah,
so are you going to immediately try and focus on volume?
No, I'm not focused on this. We'll try the first stage. We have to success. Otherwise, we'll continue in India market. So I know the Indian market. So we'll focus on the first. We'll stress on the introduction of first SP concept car in the compact segment. If we succeed, and we'll expand our model range in the futures.
You personally had experience of India in the past,
Yeah.
Through of course Hyundai, but
Yeah.
the market has evolved now and it's a lot more mature.
Yeah.
What is your impression? Because the fact that you are doing a very aggressive launch,
Yeah.
big investment, big capacity in the
Yeah.
plant, it tells us of course that you're looking at a big presence here in India.
Yeah.
But would you have some sort of a 5 or 10-year target?
We already announced our investment in India. We already, our investment amount will be $1.1 billion US dollars. We'll set up our plant as 3 lakhs unit per annum capacity. So to meet that kind of capacity, we'll focus on the, how can I say, you're talking about, we'll launch the 3 models in a future 3 years.
And will the focus always be on locally made cars?
Yeah, locally made cars.
And would you also in the future consider exports from here, or is
Yeah,
the focus on
we are considering the export also.
the investment that you talk about and the plant in Andhra Pradesh?
Yeah.
What is the sort of plan you have there? Because 3 lakhs is a huge capacity already,
Yeah.
but do you already sort of provision for future expansion in the same site?
I didn't think about the future expansion. First, I have to succeed first phase in with the 3 lakhs capacity. After that, we'll consider the future expansion. It's too early to say about future expansion. We'll focus on the first stage success, so that we'll launch the 3 model cars in a future 3 years. If we succeed, and we'll consider in the future.
That's fair, and I have to ask you, everybody was a bit surprised to see your entire global portfolio here.
Yeah.
It's not just the new concept.
Yeah.
that was intentional for you. You wanted to show people what Kia is all about.
We have a lot of the full lineup of some product globally, but to success in India, we have focus on some specific segment. So we set to some small compact segment first, and next one will be another SUV segment. After that, we'll consider in the hatchback like that kind of small passenger car segment also. First, if we compete with the compact passenger car segment, we cannot compete with the Maruti and Hyundai. There's a big giant players. So we are very strong in SUV cars in the globally. So we are focused on the first SUV segment. And next step we will consider in the next.
All right. Of course, you're right about inevitable comparisons with Maruti and Hyundai. And the other very often asked question for you would be, what about synergies with Hyundai? I mean, I know that you both compete in every market,
Yeah.
but at the back end, when it comes to platforms or vendors,
Yeah.
in the future, do you see some synergy?
Actually, in terms of platform and vendors, we can utilize together, but I'm not enjoying that kind of synergy effect. Kia will compete with our specific design for Indian cars. We'll compete with a specific design, not a synergy effect. We'll make some differentiated some product with the Indian taste. After that, only I would say synergy effect is we'll utilize together with the Hyundai and vendor. Not all vendor companies. Some of vendor companies we can utilize. Otherwise, there's no synergy effect, I think.
All right. So
We'll stand alone.
Yes. And very strongly, I'm sure, in a very short time, because we know your products. So we understand the capability. When it comes to these three cars that you talk about for India, this is, of course, you've already said is going to be the first one. The other two cars as well, are we talking about India-specific models, or could they be global models as well?
The second model will be some Indian-specific model. Second one, third one will be Indian-specific model.
And do you see potential for these cars in other markets?
Yeah, this car is a global cars, and we can modify the slightly some Indian SP concept. We have the basic is the same, but we can meet some Indian customized product we'll produce in India.
So the future model that comes out next year, you will then launch it in other markets as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One of the big discussions around Kia always comes from the design.
Yeah.
Inside
Design
and out.
here.
It's become a hallmark. It's become extremely attractive, and of course, Peter Schreier and his team are the ones to thank. In India as well, do you think design could be the differentiator for you?
Always we have some differentiator with the Hyundai cars, differentiated design, totally different. But in India also we'll compete with a totally differentiated design and differentiated some, how can I say, variant also.
Now, I know you've said that the first car rolls out in the second half of next year. Already that's a really aggressive, very tight time frame between the time you announce the plant and by the time the car comes out. So you're doing it in quick time. But between now and then, what's the big challenge for the Indian team?
Our Indian team is now studying and they are seeking out a good marketing strategy for the futures, and they will focus on some digital marketing also. Nowadays, digital marketing is very important, essence marketing factors. So they are developing a lot. You can see in the futures before launching these cars.
And I have to tell you, I was talking with Mr. Schreier earlier, and he's promised me that the production car will look a lot like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be a lot easier to get people's attention anyway.
I'm not sure that.
I'm going to hold him to it.
Yeah.
But one other thing which I think really becomes important, what you mentioned, which is that you have a strength with SUVs. In India, we find that the highest growth segments have been the SUVs. And we're now sitting at a point where the buyer is starting to ask for more and more variety and also larger sizes or different sizes. So you think that could be a really big advantage for you because in your global portfolio, you do have quite a variety.
Now we have some global portfolio is a lot. We have already ready everything. But once we market has matured, the market has developed and the higher version, we can consider in the later. We have already fulfilled.
So from now to when you launch this car, of course the network has already started.
Yeah.
I mean, you've started looking at dealers. You've obviously got your vendors and your plant going. And you mentioned digital marketing. But I have to ask you, when it comes to the new buyer, you know, there's a lot of confusion about how do you approach the millennial buyer? You know, are they looking to buy cars? Are they looking to lease cars? Do they want to take an Uber? What is your thinking on that, not just in India, but around the world?
At the initial phase, we cannot cover all of the India. India is the two largest countries. So, as you mentioned about the focus is young and vibrant Indian consumers. So we can cover some major city in the first phase. After that, we cover all the corner of India. That will expand this one by one.
But is it 2 phases or is it going to be more than 2 phases?
The first stage already started. That we can get some dealership. Everybody will together tonight. After that, we'll one by one we'll expand our dealer network coverage all over the India.
All right. So let me ask you one more thing, then, Mr. Park, before I let you go. In about maybe 10 or 15 years from now, where do you see Kia in India? What's your vision for where Kia should be in India in 10 or 15 years from now?
Our target is to become some of the top 5 automakers in 30 years.
All right, and it's going to be from these first 3 cars, you think you'll have that base, or will that include
Based
more than
on
3?
the 30 models.
So you'll go after a big market share with those 3 cars. One last thing. A lot of people have asked this question saying you're launching in India next year.
Yeah.
So why are you at the Delhi Auto Expo this year? What's your answer?
A kind of a marketing strategy. We need to show, to build up our brand awareness in Indian market. Nobody, ordinary Indian people doesn't know about Kia brand. So we need to show to the Indian market to our brand.
And I can tell you, you've got their attention. We've been hearing from them all day today, and that car is doing it. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And again, welcome to India. We're very happy to have you. And can't wait to drive the cars in India as well.